Okay, so before moving on, here's a fun bit that I recorded separately.
Oh, daring today, are we?
Huh. Die! I'm the main character now.
And if you do that,
I saw someone wearing a cardboard box just now.
A box? I don't know anything about that. You sure you weren't imagining things?
Of course I'm sure. Do you think it's one of the members of Dead Cell?
Don't worry, I shot at him.
I don't want to fight someone like that.
Why not?
Because
We're
it looks
using
so
somebody
dumb.
who knows.
Hold on.
Willing to be seen like that must be completely insane. I mean, he's a psychic. There's no question about
Raiden,
it.
not for nothing. You've been using the.
I love Pliskin.
box that you have is ideal for fooling your enemies. It's a very important tool.
Yeah, I was about to say, Raiden,
Really?
you've been using that very tactic
The
yourself.
number of agents whose lives were saved by
Do you know any agents, Pliskin, who have been saved by cardboard boxes?
Look, I'm not exaggerating when I say the success of your mission hinges on how you use that cardboard box.
Huh.
But in the end, a cardboard box is only made of paper. Handle it with care, or it won't be of much use to you.
Don't worry, I shot
You see, Raiden, you should treat your cardboard box like a woman. You handle it with
Your
care.
cardboard box with care. Take care of the box.
Yeah, see what he's see.
Don't think it's just another box.
Take
Treat
your
it with
cardboard
love.
box
Don't
out
be
to
rough,
dinner.
Okay.
It's a box!
Okay.
Hey, don't you talk about my boxes. Hey, Theo, don't talk about my cardboard boxes. I like cardboard boxes.
Much as I do love that whole exchange, I do think it's awkward if you've been having Raiden using that very tactic because it has worked. I feel like what they should have done was add in like an altered version of that if it takes into consideration if Raiden has been using the box. And I don't think it would be that much a stretch of the imagination. Like, come on, this is Kojima.
Sure.
Man,
I guess,
thinks almost as much of stuff that advances Nomura does with Kingdom Hearts 1.
Well, for as much detail as this game has, I guess eventually, I mean, even for a development team like this, eventually some slip ups can happen. I mean, I guess whatever. I'm not going to lose my sleep over it.
It's just something that I would have included to improve. That being said, it's not insulting like the DMC reboot with the not in a million years thing with the wig here because again,
gave up.
Not to mention,
If there is a reason to do it, yes.
I think the logic, Jova, I think the logic they're going with is that Raiden is a rookie, so he doesn't quite understand how important cardboard boxes are yet. But by the time we get to something like 4 and Rising, he fully understands how important it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't even mind that line too much. I just feel like that's something that should be kept exclusive if you have not been using the box, because otherwise Raiden just comes off as a massive hypocrite.
And yes, as you might,
how he's been using it.
Well, yeah, I guess, but whatever. And yes, as you might have already guessed, yes, that was Pliskin we just shot, because apparently Pliskin really likes using cardboard.
Spoilers, Pedro.
Well, come on, I think it's pretty obvious with the way he talks about the boxes. I mean, because we only get that conversation if we actually find him and shoot him while in the box there. So
maybe I'm mishearing, but Jova's tone was more sarcastic to me, but I could be wrong.
No, Shiroi, you were right. You caught up on that.
Oh.
No, there you go then.
I mean, guys, maybe it's just a third member upon Dead Cell who just really appreciates the usability of the box.
Listen, Raiden, you can put anime waifus on the cardboard boxes. They're amazing.
Yeah. That's an MGS5 reference, by the way.
Why not just shoot the camera? Yeah, that look has happened.
That's okay, Dwebs. Fortunately, since this is still operating on the original format, you can leave and come back into a room because it will reset the alert state. So they will actually fix this in MGS3. MGS3 takes a much more open approach compared to the previous games, and also does make it so that you can't just rely on leaving a screen and coming back and exploit that. So this is the last game you're going to be able to use this exploit.
Honestly, it really is interesting how, when you get down to it, the original trilogy of Metal Gear Solid really does mirror the original trilogy of Ace Attorney. You got the first game, which is a very, very good step forward. You got the second game, which has some mixed bouts here and there, but it's still a good game overall. And then you got the third game, which is pretty much like the ultimate refinement of it all.
Oh, no.
One neat, tight package.
To me, MGS3 is one of the greatest games ever made. Like top 5 easily in my book. Like I love that game. I love every single moment of that fucking game. Go on, let's.
So basically, Joby, you're saying that Metal Gear Solid 4 is Apollo Justice.
No.
No.
I'm sorry, I refuse to acknowledge. I refuse to accept that.
I would say
it's very controversial.
Okay.
Well, so is 2. I mean, if you go by that.
Yeah.
Well, the second
Honestly,
game's also kind of controversial, so there you go.
okay, Dwebs, not really a good comparison. Here's the thing. If I were to compare a Metal Gear Solid game to Apollo Justice, that is also Metal Gear Solid 2. Like I mentioned, we got the new protagonist here. A lot of people didn't exactly gravitate to him as much as the old protagonist who is there. Like, again, I'm not saying that this is as mediocre as I think Apollo Justice is, but I do think that if you want to compare a Metal Gear Solid
this is important.
Apollo Justice, it's this one.
Damn, that was it.
What's going on?
The detonator just woke up. It's counting down.
Well, shit.
Well, that can't be good.
To be activated when all the baby C4s went off.
So basically, Fat Man set a trap for us. Great.
A very obvious one at that.
What's the remaining time?
honest.
Oops.
400 seconds.
400 seconds?
So you
That's
better
a
get
bit more
going.
than 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So.
Alright, so we have 400 seconds to get to the bottom of strut A. Get going. There you go.
So, vamonos!
And I'm happy to report, Shiroi, that despite this being a 2001 game, it does remember to pause the timer whenever you go into the pause screen or you're in the codec call and shit like that.
Well,
So,
I don't remember any game of that time.
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I mean, even Persona 5 doesn't do this, despite being released in 2017.
3 doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the world ended just because you had to pause for a bit to go to the toilet?
Yeah.
That is basically what happens in one stage.
Honestly, that's the thing, Joe. Honestly, Jova, like if you're gonna talk about an equivalent in terms of fan reception, I will argue Phantom Pain is probably the equivalent to Apollo Justice, if anything, because there's still quite a lot of people that can't stand Phantom Pain. So.
Okay. I wouldn't compare Phantom Pain to Apollo Justice because, okay, I'm more so comparing the way and means about the reception as opposed to the potency of whatnot. Like, Apollo Justice still does have its fans, and for the most part, people are relaxed on that game. Most agree that it is probably the weakest of the sequel trilogy, although admittedly, each sequel trilogy installment does have its certain base of people who find it to be the weakest of this or that. Whereas Metal Gear Solid 5 is weird. Like, okay, if you're going for gameplay, strictly speaking, a lot of people will argue that that is the best of it.
That's pretty much.
If you're talking story, though.
Oh, sure. That's why
boy.
That's what I was saying. I mean, gameplay-wise, Phantom Pain is basically the best stealth action game ever made. But so it's not like. So it really is one of those cases where. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, the reason I don't compare it to Apollo Justice is because, well, it doesn't exactly have the high-octane gameplay love that people have for Metal Gear Solid.
Sure, I guess.
Which is
basically
where I go in
I
with
wouldn't
that.
really argue. I wouldn't really compare, an actual visual novel with an actual proper game.
Sure.
There's context involved, essentially, in regards to how stuff goes about here and there, but let's see. If I were to compare any Ace Attorney game to Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, I guess that would have to be Ace Attorney Investigations, where people, for the most part, did like the gameplay, but a lot were very mixed on the story. It was basically your typical Yamazaki bout. He has a bit of a faulty start here, but thankfully the sequel really refines and fixes stuff up. Anyway, codec call.
Pliskin, listen carefully.
What is it?
I fell for it.
Fell for what?
Fat Man has my number. A proximity trigger. Microwave.
Oh.
It's one trap after another with this
The
guy.
7-foot range. It's not a technique I taught him. Neither was that multi-bomb booby trap. Looks like he's far surpassed me as far as explosives technique goes. As for the rest,
Pete, get the hell out of there.
there's less than 30 seconds left. It's too late.
No!
Pliskin, get away from Strut H as fast as you can.
Pete!
Raiden, keep your distance. Use the spray from as far away as possible.
Me?
You can do it. I know that.
I'm not so sure.
But I am. Do it. I
Don't have much of a
The
choice,
first day
Raiden.
on the job, eh, Raiden?
Yeah, well, actually, yes, Jova. Actually, yes.
And yeah, he did.
There you go.
He dead.
I'm not sure how I feel about him kind of just getting killed like that, but it is what it is.
Well, to be fair, I guess you can argue it's karma for the, like Rose said, the very dishonest and harmful life he lived as a fake handicapped person.
You could say that, but it's like you could also say, well, I mean, we only had like a few parts with the guy, and now he's dead.
Well, you're not. Well, the game. It's not like you're supposed to cry over this or anything. Like the game doesn't make that big a deal out of his death. So
No, Mustache Bomb guy is dead.
it's more so like the way to look at Pete is as a moving part of a bigger puzzle. Like it's more so about this particular. It's more about giving Fat Man's part of the plot a bit more character. Like give it some kind of human element. All right, go on.
I guess in that element, it is a nice bout. I do wish that they could have done more with the guy,
When you're on
though.
the surface, you can swim in corresponding directions using the up, down, left, and right movement of the left stick.
That's
Push the
handy.
punch button to dive down from the surface.
What's a punch button?
Also, is it just me? For a second there, that didn't sound.
We're a
like
bit
good.
busy.
Huh. Wait.
Another call?
Yeah, you actually make a good point, Dwebs. The Colonel sometimes seems like he sounds a bit weird, doesn't he? Huh.
Like he doesn't exactly sound like Paul Isaac.
Weird. And yes, I might as well show you guys this. You can move both analog sticks to move the character models during the codec calls.
We do the same things in the Sly games as well.
Yeah.
I know I showcased it a bit.
I'm wondering if the Sly games took inspiration.
Oh, I'm pretty confident.
It might be, remember, this was a launch title for this game particularly was a launch title for the PS2, launch window at the very least, and Sly took just a bit before coming out. So
Well, even then, Teo, remember, there was already the first MGS on PS1, so they had plenty of time.
About, sure, you know what I mean.
He's
though, in
talking about
terms
the
of-
camera movement,
Just the
though, in
camera
regards
movement.
to...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
This was the era, in case for people to put in perspective, these days something like this would be more common, ideally, but this was the era where there was a bit of experimenting on the matter. The game done by Fumito Ueda and Kenji Kaido, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, also did something like that by having you be able to move the camera with the right stick, doing every single cutscene if you wanted.
Okay, so the basic, so we know that the bomb is somewhere in here.
Someone's set up
And
as the
Pliskin
bomb.
is not responding. Great. Okay. Colonel.
Colonel, Stillman is dead.
I know. Pull yourself together, Raiden.
I can't do this alone.
Jack, are you listening?
Even though I am
Alright,
strong.
calm down.
Calm down.
Stillman is dead. There are no more explosive specialists.
You're fine. I won't let you die.
Rose.
All right then. Is Sensor B equipped?
Yes.
See if it responds or not. Jack, no matter what, you have to bring an end to this.
Yeah, what she said. Basically, you use sensor B to detect bombs because it will give a little beep, beep, beep if you're closer to the bomb. So, like she said, sensor B. Alright, so let's see. And yes, there's still a lot of bugs on the walls. You'd think that at some point, you'd think the leader of the terrorists at some point would send someone to clean this shit up, but
You know, Pedro, if this were Metal Gear Solid...
fuck. Go on, Jova.
Oh dear. If this
No,
were Metal
go
Gear
on.
Solid 3, I'd have a certain reasoning as to why there's all these bugs here and there.
Go on, I guess.
You know what that certain character can do
Oh.
with bugs in Metal
Oh,
Gear Solid 3?
Well, I get the feeling it's... I mean, considering the time where that game takes place, Jova, I have my doubts.
Well, hence why I said if this were Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, right,
I have
sorry.
good reasoning for why
Sure.
all these bugs are about.
Maybe...
It's under the boat.
Maybe a successor, probably. Let me see. Alright, let's see if we can reach it from here. And... Come on. No.
Nope.
Okay. But yeah, the basic gist of it is you have to find a good position. Hopefully this will do it. Yes.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Got him.
Got it, Colonel.
Colonel, I've neutralized the bomb.
Good work, Raiden.
It was a great loss for everyone.
Yes, it was.
What, the bomb?
Colonel, any damage
No,
reported in the
Stillman.
explosion? It seems that the
Just the way he phrased that made it sound like, oh, the bomb was such a great loss.
Such a shame. It's such a shame that not everybody blew up.
Explosions ignited the oil slick on the surface.
Yeah, this is what I mean sometimes with these kinds of localizations. You kind of phrase things
Is the
weirdly.
big shell stable?
Shell 1 was
Okay,
unaffected.
so Shell was unaffected. That's good.
But the threat of the bomb is over for now.
What's the next objective?
Rescue the president. Get back to the
Rescue the
upper
Are you a
president.
bad enough dude, Raiden?
All right, time to rescue the president. It's always it's always the president gets kidnapped in these.
Pedro in Resident Evil 4 is the president's daughter.
True.
True.
Hey, Joe. But then, well, at least I can tell that at the very least the president. Oh, hold on.
Raiden, the terrorists have retaliated for our bomb neutralization.
Shit.
What?
A hostage has been killed.
Can't take 10 steps.
Okay, so yeah, this is basic terrorist tactic. Kill one of the hostages to show that they're not joking around.
Damn.
They announced they would kill one every hour from now on.
What are
Oh
my orders?
crap!
What should I do?
Stay with your mission objective. Rescue.
I mean, yeah, might as well. It's not like we can do much about it at this
President
point.
Johnson is your first priority.
Yeah, priorities,
Priority
sadly.
my
Yep.
butt. They're all
Ow.
in danger.
Look,
Jack,
Raiden, yeah,
simple. I know what you're feeling, but you can't save them
yeah.
all.
What Rose said.
No, not by myself.
Are you expecting that Pliskin to come through?
Well,
Looks like he's turned his radio off too.
Yeah, that's true.
I
We
can't
tried contacting
complete
him and he
this
wasn't
mission by
answering.
myself.
That man was not included in the simulation. Not a
Simulation.
factor in this mission.
What do you mean by that, Colonel?
Yeah.
Your mission
Remember,
was
you
to
know,
remain
he
the
did
solo
VR
weapon.
missions,
Training,
so that's
yeah.
probably the
No second
simulations
attempt?
he's talking
They
about.
haven't
I guess,
got to
sure.
bombing that. All we can do is wait. In the meantime, you're our only hope.
No pressure, Raiden.
I understand.
Raiden, go and rescue
Yeah,
the
but
president.
you're Pedro. I
You
gotta
can start
say,
by getting to the upper
something's
level of
I gotta say, something's up with Paul Hardy. Was he ill when he recorded this?
You guys are just over.
You must be hearing things, Lips. Anyway, cutscene.
Maybe.
Oh, it's Fortune, Jova's favorite Dead Cell member.
Yep.
She's actually the most tragic one in terms of all of them.
Ergo, she's probably the only one who's not just an asshole when you get down to it.
I think you can count on one hand characters who aren't tragic.
I can't tell you how happy I am that you were alive after all.
Oh crap!
I knew this moment would come.
And there's more bugs on the.
To electrocute
Show
you.
yourself
Not just that, and there's also more bugs on the floor. Jesus Christ, this place is a fucking pigsty. Like,
Oh?
Otherwise, you'll be the one. to die.
Father, huh?
your father. Who the hell was your father? Epic slow mo.
That's not him.
What?
Were you expecting somebody else, Fortune?
Interesting. You've seen the fires of hell, haven't you?
Lady, what the hell are you talking about?
Maybe you can give me
I
death.
think she was expecting me.
Yeah. Reminder, Shira, since Fortune is played by Mala Gale. Reminder, Shira, since if I remember correctly, you were BRB'd when we first introduced her. Her story, Shira, is that she desperately wants to die. However, because of her luck, and that's why she's called Fortune, all bullets miss her somehow. Basically, like she's known for having the greatest luck in the world. Like she never gets killed.
Well, if you'll recall, we actually fight her in the E3 trailer, but as Snake.
Yes.
You can see that. You can see that also is represented by your health bar and stamina being very low.
And yes, our
The
gun.
important bit is actually to get there.
And yes, our gun is one of those electromagnetic gun thingies.
The proper term is railgun.
That's it, railgun. Sorry.
Wait. Character. Wait. Has seen it trailer. You'd expect to to have in the game, but in the game itself, the character gets replaced. Jover, I thought you hated that tactic.
Well, Dwibs, it is true.
Did I say I hate that tactic?
Well, okay, let me put it.
Well, you're absolutely against it in The Last of Us Part 2.
How about this, Dwibs? How about this, Dwibs?
Okay. Here's a bit of
Pedro
a.
actually explained.
Actually, suggest me, but okay.
No, actually, Jova has a good point, actually. Go on, Jova.
Okay, no, never mind.
Like, here's the difference, though. Okay, one, Last of Us 2's way of doing it was just, well, it's weird. They did arguably less, but also were more deceptive about it. To the point where they essentially rearranged trailer stuff, trailer footage, ergo actual footage from the game, to make us think an absolute lie, essentially, that Joe was going to be here and there.
Let me.
In the game's version of this one, that was a demo being shown, and to their credit, a lot of stuff can change from an initial demo here and there. Like, you would be surprised if a step back can change. Now, that being said, on the third thing, though, I will agree that this is part of a deception meant for this game here, and purpose or not, I will understand if somebody does have an issue with that. It does not bug me as much as Last of Us 2, and I acknowledge that it could be seen as problematic.
That man called us?
Oh, great.
Fuck.
Only good news, I see.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're kind of busy right now.
Yeah, we're kind of busy now, Colonel.
You didn't have to answer the phone.
Oh,
I mean, you should
great.
have called you, but you didn't have to answer.
Oh no, Peter Parker is
Yeah, it's
dead.
already a good time.
I can't believe Peter Parker is fucking
already
dead.
begun. I'm already fighting another Dead Cell member, and now you're telling me another Dead Cell member's after me.
Okay,
Alright,
let's,
let me explain something to Shiroi real quick. Basically, Shiroi, here's how the codec calls work. If the little notice thingy is in green, it's optional. You don't have to answer. However, if it's red, it's an obligatory codec call that's relevant to the story. So that's the.
Still misfortune. We had to.
Oh, hey, Vamp.
Oh, everyone wants to show up today.
Well, in
Yes.
that case, they're rude.
Really rude.
It's like, do you want us to come back alive or not?
I'll take over, Queen.
What is it?
It seems our friend Fat Man is out of control.
He'll actually try to destroy this place?
Yes, this could unravel everything we've planned.
Fucking
Why would
Fat
he do
Man.
such a thing?
Who knows? But he's nothing more than a stereotypical mad bomb now. He's completely lost sight of our ideals. And with it, his loyalty to Commander Jackson.
All
Commander
right.
Jackson?
I'll take care of the wayward soul.
Oh, great. Infighting.
I expected more of this one.
I guess the Dead Cell are not quite as much of a tight unit as Foxhound in the previous game were.
Then he's all mine.
So it would seem.
Then.
Okay, whereas Fortuna.
Yeah, I like that. Shiro.
Uh-oh.
Well, we hit some. We shot some. Well, we hit someone at least. It wasn't fortunate.
Well done.
Calculated.
Yeah, we totally meant to do. Let me do my best, Quentin Flynn. I totally meant to do that, by the way. Clearly.
Oh.
Okay, so basically, Dwebs, this is Fortune's thing. She sees her companions die, but she see herself doesn't die. She has to see other people she cares about die, basically. So that's her basic thing.
Okay, so we're not gonna get a fight with Dracula.
Wants to die, so she doesn't have to watch everyone around.
Dwebs.
Everyone she loves.
Kind of like,
die.
yeah, but there's a healthy, no, sorry, not healthy, but there's a hefty side of Survivor's Guild as well, Shiroi.
How about this, Dwebs?
Nipples went for me. Why do you have to keep taking all the good stuff, Van?
No, I'm firmly on the side of mortality fucking sucks.
Like, Dwebs, I suggest you put a pin on that for now. We'll get back to that.
Okay. Unlike the Colonel, this character isn't AI, so
Dribs. Can we at least try and wait until that gets plot revealed?
No. I get the feeling. I get the feeling. Dwebs is talking about the voice acting.
I thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the dialogue or if it's the way she was directed, but her delivery is not good.
I don't mind it
It's like
personally.
It's like she's being shaken to cry, like. It's worse than my crying.
Oh, bye.
I'll leave you to grief on your own, I guess.
It was meant for you, I promise.
Yeah, Raiden is like, my work here is done.
Let me just.
And I did do something.
Let me also quickly expand upon what Jova was saying real quick. And hold on. Actually, I forgot about this.
But it's okay.
Oh, wait.
It looks like her tears brought him back to
Magical
life.
moonbeam tears.
Well, he is a vampire, so.
Huh, I'm surprised she didn't know he could do that. Of how long they've hung around each other.
I'm guessing this is Vamp's first time dying in front of her.
Second, he just mentioned.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, true. Okay. Anyway, we have, like the Colonel said, we have 500 seconds to once again.
Slightly less than 10 minutes. So.
It was really polite of the timer to not start until the cutscene was over.
Like I said, Webs, I would gladly take that extra little bit of immersion breaking over the timer constantly counting over the cutscenes, to be honest with you. I will argue that's preferable.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree that timers counting down during cutscenes is BS.
Get to the heliport on the roof of Strut E.
Okay, so to Strutty.
Strutty sounds like an action you do. I am strutting on the roof.
Let me just expand quickly on Jova's earlier point. Oh fuck.
Ow.
Landmines. Well, at least I escaped that one. Okay. There's also, again, like Jova usually says, there's also, like, context is important. Like, you have to take each case as individually. And second, again, I proposed as we also put a pin on that and talk about this when we actually get to the end of the game, so we can see exactly where the game is going with this. But anyway, for now, let's just, we can talk about this in more detail without spoiling Shiroi at a later part.
I'll just say this, I have my reasoning for not getting as ticked at this as Last of Us 2.
Oh, sure.
I already explained, to be fair, I already explained the main differences here and there. I will understand if people do take issue with this, seeing as how, at the end of the day, it is still deception. It does have a point, yes. Though you could also argue Last of Us 2 had a point as well here. It's just a matter of how good and worthy that point is.
Honestly, Jova, I will argue... Okay, I can say this without spoiling anything. I will argue, Jova, that Last of Us Part 2 didn't really justify that decision, because Last of Us Part 2's story is not about deception. It's not about anything involving the themes of deception or in misinterpretation. No, it's about revenge.
About shitting on everyone's opinion.
Yeah, it's a revenge story. Like they didn't.
And subversion.
See, here's the thing. They could have very easily hid the fact that Joel dies at the beginning without necessarily doing what they did. They could have just focused on the Ellie and Dina bits, because they did make it look like the journey was going to be, for the most, at least partly, with Ellie and Dina. So they could have just focused on just showing those bits. And that way would have been fine. So I will argue that game didn't justify that decision, honestly. But
it definitely did not justify it. My point is that one could argue that it did have a purpose. Granted, like you said, probably not as justified a purpose.
I don't know. I don't buy it personally. Anyway, tune in next time, everybody.
Neither do I.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying. I can only speak for myself after all. Tune in next time, everybody. Hopefully we'll be able to find Fat Man, and hopefully things will go better next time. See ya.
Yeah. That is hope.
Totally.